Hey everyone, disclaimers are statements that aim to limit or exclude liability in certain situations. They are often found in contracts, terms of service, websites, or as labels on products. The purpose of a disclaimer is to inform users or consumers of certain risks, limitations, or legal positions associated with using a service, product, or information. Businesses frequently use disclaimers to clarify their responsibilities and to protect themselves from potential legal claims. Some common types of disclaimers include liability disclaimers, which limit the business's liability for damages arising from the use of its products or services, content disclaimers, which state that information provided is for general informational purposes and does not constitute professional advice, and product disclaimers, which warn consumers of potential risks or usage limitations. Under Singapore law, disclaimers are considered a type of exclusion clause, which is a contractual provision used to exclude or limit liability. The legal enforceability of such clauses depends on several factors. First, disclaimers must pass the reasonable test under the Unfair Contract Terms Act, which assesses whether the exclusion or limitation of liability is fair and reasonable in the circumstances. Second, disclaimers must be properly incorporated into the contract, meaning that consumers must have been made aware of them before or at the time of contract formation. This is why many businesses display disclaimers prominently on websites, terms of service, or packaging. Third, the language of the disclaimer must be clear and unambiguous, as courts in Singapore have refused to uphold disclaimers that are vague or difficult to understand. Fourth, there are statutory restrictions on disclaimers, particularly regarding personal injury or death caused by negligence, which cannot be excluded under the Unfair Contract Terms Act. Additionally, common law principles and considerations of public policy also influence the extent to which disclaimers can be relied upon in court. Disclaimers are crucial for business owners because they help limit potential legal liability, ensuring that businesses are not held responsible for risks that consumers knowingly assume. Disclaimers also help customer expectations by clearly outlining what a product or service does not cover. For example, a disclaimer in a fitness program stating that the results may vary prevents consumers from making unfounded claims against the business. Additionally, disclaimers can also protect intellectual property by specifying that content is for informational purposes only and should not be reproduced without permission. In regulated industries such as finance, businesses are often required to include disclaimers stating that past performance does not guarantee future results. Furthermore, disclaimers enhance contractual protections by clearly defining the extent of a company's obligations and liabilities, thereby reducing the risk of legal disputes. However, while disclaimers are an important tool, they are not a complete shield against liability. Businesses should ensure that disclaimers are customized to reflect their specific risks and services, as generic disclaimers may not provide adequate protection. The placement of disclaimers is also important. They should be easily accessible and prominently displayed, whether online, in-store, or on product labels. Relying solely on disclaimers is also not advisable, as they do not absolve a business of responsibility in cases of negligence. Businesses should also consider obtaining proper insurance coverage to mitigate risks. Additionally, disclaimers should be reviewed regularly to ensure compliance with evolving legal standards and business practices. In conclusion, disclaimers play an essential role in protecting businesses from unnecessary legal exposure, managing consumer expectations, and ensuring regulatory compliance. However, their effectiveness depends on their clarity, placement, and legal validity under Singapore law. Business owners should take care when drafting disclaimers and seek advice if necessary to ensure that they receive adequate protection. Thanks for joining me in this discussion. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.